This is Kirei with another scrapbook process video for Bramble Fox. And for this layout, I'm using the fabulous new October Fox box. I'm also using the Fox Cut number 47, the stencil with all the leaves and the branches. That's the new one that comes with the Fox Box Plus subscription. And I'm also using Paper Snips number 10. So you can see I've pulled out some pattern papers here, and these are the super cute Simple Stories Into the Wild collection. So I'm just cutting up a number of strips that I'm going to layer up over to the left hand side of my white cardstock background. Now, I must apologise here with my video. I was actually videoing at the St Albans crop, and it was the first time I've used the equipment, and I was fiddling around trying to get the camera right, and you can see I'm just cutting off a little bit at the bottom there. I didn't move my layer up, so apologies that it does move around a little bit throughout the video, so sorry that I've cut off a little bit there. Anyway, I'm moving on. So you can see I've cut the 3 pattern papers there, and now I've just pulled out this fabulous new stencil with the branches on, and just working out where I'm going to have that place that on the background, because I'm sort of going to create a bit of almost like a shelf really for the title that I'm going to add, which will be Wildlife, which is the fabulous perspective in that sort of deep red, the sort of burgundy colour, and I'm going to add Adventure next to it. So this branch creates a bit of a shelf for that. So I'm using a brown, it's an old Stampin' Up ink that I have, and I'm just adding 2 of the branches to the bottom right here, and just making sure here where they're going to go, and then I can get that finished. And then I'm going to add some more stencil detail to the top left of the layout as well. It sort of creates a bit of, I guess, a sort of a diagonal effect from the top left down to the bottom right. So again, just working out where the stencil is going to sit. So we'll add that, and then I'm going to add to the stencil some stenciled leaves, but I'm also going to add some of the fabulous leaf perspectives, and I'm pulling them in now. You can see them there in the 3 colours, in sort of the mustardy ochre, that same burgundy red, and then that sort of sagey green colour. So they come in the October Fox box as well. So I'm sort of working out where they're going to go, and as usual, I'm pushing them around a lot. Anyway, I think I'm happy with that, and I'm just going to add some of the stenciled leaves in as well. So I'm going to use the Distress Oxide Evergreen Bow. It's not the colour you can see at the top left of the screen. It's another one. I wasn't sure if I was going to use that one, but it was a bit brighter than I wanted. So it's not that one you can see there. The one I'm using is just off the screen to the left. So I'm just adding a few of the leaves to the branches there, and that just adds a bit of extra detail, and I'm loving the stencils that Moreg's creating. It adds, I guess, a little bit of extra detail to the background. Sometimes when you're not sure if it's a little bit too white, like this one was, just a soft bit of detail in the background, which works really, really well. So I've got the leaves all stenciled, and I'm now just going to mount my photo on that nice yellow sort of striped paper, and I'm distressing the edges. I just wanted the photo to pop a little bit against the background, so the yellow was sort of perfect for that. So I've distressed the edges of all of the background strips, and they're now stuck down, and I'm now going to add my photo. I've just added some foam pads to the top of the photo only, kept it flat at the bottom, because I know I'm going to sort of layer my embellishments to the bottom of the photo, so that just makes it a bit easier. So I'm going to have the wildlife there to the bottom right of the photo, and then I've got the adventure. It's one of the stickers from the Simple Stories Into the Wild collection, and I'm just layering it with some foam pads as well, just to add some dimension, because I'm going to sit it just over the branches. In fact, it actually covers up one of the stencil leaves I added, but anyway, hey ho, that's okay. So just making sure I'm happy where that's going to sit, and then I can get that stuck down. So what am I going to do next? Oh, I'm pulling out the Paper Snips, and these are Paper Snips number 10. So they're a new set. They coordinate with the wildlife collection. They're not the Paper Snips that actually come in the October Fox box, but I rather like these ones because they were sort of worked well with my photo. So I'm just cutting out the camera, and I've cut off some of the black strips at the top. You can see they're just the little words, and I'm going to use some of those. And I've just punched out the epoxy, well, this little circle. It's the sloth on a tree. It says no worries. It's very cute. And I'm now just adding the clear epoxy flare over the top of it. So I think I've got everything in position now. Yes, I have. So I'm now just going to get everything really stuck down. Of course, making sure that that's absolutely straight. And then I'll start to get my perspective stuck down. So I'm using glossy accents. I usually always use glossy accents. It gives a nice strong hold for the perspectives. So get all the little leaves stuck down, and then I can add my wildlife title. The photo that I have, of course, it's another photo of me in Australia with my mum and my dad and my sister. And we were up where my mum and dad live, and there is the Australian Reptile Park very close by to them. So we took a trip out. My mum's a real animal lover, as am I. So yeah, so it was a really lovely day out. Actually, got to see lots of Australian animals, to be fair, and mum and I went and did a koala experience, which was amazing. We didn't get to hold the koalas. They don't like you to do that because the koalas are disease free, etc. So they hold them, but we were in the sort of the pen with the koala, and we were able to stroke it, and it was lovely. So I've got some photos of those. So watch out, because I'll definitely be scrapping some of those very, very soon. Okay, I've just got that little tag there. I've added a little bit of journaling, and I'm now just sticking down those fussy cut paper snips, a little camera, added the DIY epoxy flare, and then I'm just going to stick down the word snips from the Paper Snips, and I've got that one there says explore, and then the 3 at the bottom say my tribe, always remember, and best ever. And I also added one to the top little yellow tab above my photo, and that one says let's hang out. So I'm getting those stuck down. A couple of them I am just adding some foam pad to the back of them, so again a little bit of extra dimension. And I've just pulled in those binoculars, and then there's a little compass at the top there, some of the chipboard embellishments from the Simple Stories Into the Wild collection. So I'm sort of getting there. I think I'm just having a look if there's anything else I should add, but I'm almost there. Making sure, even though I've got the chipboard's got a sticky back, I do add some extra the wet glue to it. I just find it just gives a bit more of a solid hold. And that's a little geo tag I've added to the top. I'm still having a look, just making sure if there's anything else I want to add. Oh, there's a couple of little flowers here. I'm just going to pop down to the bottom left. And then I think I'm moving on. And here we go. Yes, I have decided to add a couple of border strips to the left and right. Just felt like I needed something to sort of balance the layout. So I've just cut a narrow strip of the brown pattern paper. It's obviously the same one that I used as one of the layers for my background. So, and then I just distressed the inner edge of each of those strips. So just getting those stuck down. I'm almost done, not quite, but almost done. I'd have to add a few splatters, so I'm going to pull out the ink again and just add a few splatters to the top left and the bottom right. So there we go. There's the Distress Oxide just on my craft mat. Add a little bit of water, small paintbrush, and I'm just actually going to cover the photo so I don't get some splatters on there. So there we go. And then I think we're going to go to the final layout. I'll just make sure that I've wiped off any of the perspectives. And here you go. Here is the final layout and the close-ups. Here you go. You can see the stencil, that DIY epoxy flare, and the paper snips that I use. I hope you've enjoyed the process video. Pop on over to bramblefox.co.uk to get more details on how to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. It's Kirei for Bramble Fox.